Hello everyone, Welsh Witch here, and it is Yule! Yay! Yule tidings, Merry Yule and Merry Christmas! Obviously, Christmas, Christ, that's the Christian name for it, and a lot of people will actually celebrate this on the 25th, but today is actually Yule, the 21st of December. Well, it will be. I'm currently making this video Friday the... oh my god, I don't even know what day it is. Friday the 19th, is it? Yes, boom, Friday the 19th. But when you'll be watching this, it will be the 21st, which means Yule. Yay! Got there in the end. So this is my Yule video. This is going to be quite like the videos that I made when I started doing them, when I was still filming on my phone and would just upload them straight to Facebook. And it's just an informative video, a tiny little glimpse into the history of Yule and the symbology, yeah, that is right, symbology of it. And I thought I'd dress up a little bit, so I've gone with some Christmassy leaves and some holly, and we've got a very cool leaf here, and because it's Yule, Christmas, I appear to have sprouted elf ears. If you want the elf ears, go on to the Fae shop. I'll put a link in here. This is through Karen Kay's Fae magazine, and you can purchase them on there. I believe they're £5. If they're not, they're however much it says on the link. And she's wonderful and very talented. She made these cool little holly leaves here. These are very Christmassy. I bought these last year for Christmas. And you've got this one here, this very cool leaf with a toadstool attached. I'll put a link in here to her Etsy shop, and I'll put a link in the drop down box as well to her Facebook page, which is Atlantis Fae, so that you can go on there and see all the wonderful things that she makes. Now, to get on with Yule. Well, before we get on to that, as I said a few videos back in the summer, I think the first video I did this with was your finding your totem animal, where I chose a tarot card to sort of preside over the video. So I've done that again, and I thought I would go with the rebirth card. This is from the Druidcraft tarot deck. Hold it up there so you can see. This is rebirth. It's I thought it would be quite fitting because obviously this is the end of the pagan year. Some people see Samhain as the end of the pagan year, and this more as like New Year's. So, you know, it's the end of one, beginning of the other, and it is a rebirth. The card itself, the meanings for it are following a call, new directions, renewal, transformation, decision making, maybe coming to a crossroads and having to pick which way you're going to go. You may have found your mission in life and your spiritual path and which way you should be going now. So it's all about change and renewal and transformation, which is what this time of year is about. So we've got rebirth, which will sit by there and preside over the video. Now, leading on nicely from that, we'll talk about Yule and the date itself. So obviously it is the 21st of December, which most people know as the winter solstice, which is the longest night, shortest day, longest night. We don't have much sunlight, but it's quite dark for most of the day, or most of the night, should I say. And then from now on up until June, it'll start getting lighter and the days will get longer. So it's all about the sun's rebirth, the sun coming back out, and the rebirth of the Oak King, because of course there is the oak and the holly, and this is when the Holly King goes away and the Oak King comes back into life, and he starts blooming and blossoming and presiding over the year. So that's the date. It can fall between the 20th and 23rd, but it traditionally falls on the 21st to coincide with the winter solstice, and because obviously on the 25th then we have Christmas, and it's all very close. Most pagans, myself, still celebrate Christmas, but not in the Christian religious sense, just in that gift giving, but we'll talk about that later. So that's the date. It's the longest day. It's about the sun being reborn, the Oak King being reborn. It's all about rebirth and transformation and new tidings. So that's the date. Now we've got a little bit of history for you. So now if you've heard something different, that doesn't mean that what I'm saying is wrong, or what you're saying is wrong. It just could be different sources or just different things that people have heard. These are a couple little things that I've heard. So people would light bonfires in the fields for that warmth, and that you would associate winter with lighting fires anyway, because it's bloody freezing. Well, it is in the northern hemisphere anyway, so we need the fires being lit in the fields for the warmth. And you would have children would be escorted from house to house with gifts of clove-spiked apples and oranges, which were laid in baskets of evergreen bows and wheat stalks dusted with flour. So the reasons for that, the symbology of that, the apples and oranges represented the sun, again the sun coming back to life, so it was all about rebirth. The bows were symbolic of immortality, and the reason they were evergreen is because evergreens were sacred to Celts, as they didn't die. They didn't have a time in the year when they wilted or anything, so they represented that eternal side of things and that immortality. Wheat stalks portrayed the harvest, and flour represented the accomplishment of triumph, light and life. So all the happy stuff, all the good things which we like. And then we've got holly and ivy decorations would be used inside the house, usually around the doorway, in the hopes that nature's sprites would join their celebration. So it's sort of like an invite saying, here's the holly and ivy, here's the things that you guys are used to being around, so come into the house. And a lot of people would keep holly in the house all year round as a sort of symbol for hope, and that kind of giving back to nature, and that invitation to nature all year round, and a sort of symbol of hope. Though some may quibble on what the symbology of holly is. I'd like to know your thoughts. Okay, so we've got the ceremonial Yule log, not the one made of chocolate. Although the one made of chocolate is made to look like a proper Yule log. But this is what the actual ceremonial Yule log was. It was the highlight of the solstice festival, and it was either harvested, so it was either grown on your own land and you went out and you got it yourself, or it was given to you as a gift, but you never bought it. Never buy a Yule log. It has to be given as a gift, or you go and get it yourself, which in a sense is still being given as a gift, because that means nature itself is giving it to you. It would be decorated with the seasonal greenery, doused with cider or ale, because what is a holiday without a bit of alcohol? No, I'm sure that's not why. It would be dusted with flour before being lit with a piece of last year's log. So you would keep just a little bit of the log from the previous year purposefully to light next year's one, so it would always be ongoing. Then it would burn throughout the night, smoulder away for 12 days, and then there would be a ceremonial dousing of it and putting it out after those 12 days. And then, as I said, you'd keep the little bit ready to light next year's log. So the log itself, usually ash would be traditional. The reason for that, it represents the sacred world to the Teutons. I think I said that right, Teutons. Teutons is how I would say it. It was known as Yggdrasil. Herb of the sun, ash brings light into the hearth at the solstice. So again, it's all to do with the sun and brightness, and that's what you think of at this time of year with Christmas, and decorations and light and all the green, red and gold and everything being really bright and bang and lots of light going on. So it makes sense that that's what ash represents. And yes, you can start seeing the similarities here with Christmas. So you've got trees being brought inside as well, which I believe is a pagan thing that originated in Germany, possibly. You can see with the Yule log passed over, and obviously a lot of people still, as I said about the chocolate Yule log, will eat that and see that as a very Christmassy thing, even though it is in fact a pagan thing. And again, with decorations, like I said about decorating the doorway with holly and ivy and mistletoe, of course, we'll have a little cheeky kiss under the mistletoe. And it comes from paganism, and it's interesting to see how much actually does come from paganism and has been taken across. But that is a very different argument that could spark a much longer video, so we won't talk about that now, because today is all happy chappy Yule-tideness. Yule-tideness. Yuletide blessings. Okay, so the deities of Yule. This is all, again, rebirth, sun, brightness. It's all newborn gods. A couple of the goddesses, these are from different pantheons now. So you've got Brigitte, Isis, Demeter, Gaia, Diana, the Great Mother. Then the gods, you've got Apollo, Ra, Odin, or Woden, depending on how you say it, Lu, the Oak King, the Horned One, the Green Man, and the Divine Child. The Horned One and the Green Man, certain people might quibble that they are one and the same because of Cernunnos, who through autumn and winter he is the Horned One, he's the stag, the god, and then throughout spring and summer he becomes the Green Man. Oh, I've lost my toadstool. There it is. There we go. Okay, so sorry about that. Yes, so some people might argue that about Cernunnos, Pan or Herne, depending on what you call him, but some people do see him as two different deities or entities. And yeah, so but the main two for this holiday, or the best known, would be Dagda and Brigitte. I did touch on talking about Dagda a little bit in my Samhain video, and about the relationship that he has with the Morrigan on Samhain, but now this is more his time now, and his daughter Brigitte. And Dagda has a cauldron which assures that nature will always provide for all children, so he's sort of taking care of the children's side of it, and he's quite a jovial god. He's not this sort of lithe, thin character. He's a very jovial, bearded man. Again, echoing with Christmas, Father Christmas, Santa Claus, you know. So you can see where it's all coming from. And then his daughter Brigitte, she's all about the fire and the warmth. She taught the smiths, the blacksmiths, the art of fire and the secrets of metalwork, and her flame is like the flame of the new light. It pierces the darkness of the spirit and the mind. So while you've got Dagda looking after the children, Brigitte is sort of looking after the adults and keeping our minds clear of the darkness, which is always a comforting thought. And there is something really quite warming when you think about Brigitte, or Bridie, some people say it different. If you meditate, she has come to me a few times, and there is something really warming and kind of like she's giving you a hug, like she's looking after you. She's kind of got that feeling about her, and you can really feel that if you go to Glastonbury. I know they've got the Brigitte Healing Centre in Glastonbury. Not actually been there yet, but I would like to go. But if you go to the White Spring, one of the permanent shrines they've got all year round is for Brigitte, and it's got this brilliant sort of lattice work around it, and there's this beautiful painting of Brigitte with this fire. I'm not sure who the artist is, but I'm sure you could find out, or I could find out for you if you want me to. But it's a really cosy little corner, and there's lots of little candles around, and it does feel really warm. And the White Spring is quite a dark place, but in that corner with Brigitte or Bridie, it does feel very warm, and that's because of her fire and her flame and her warmth and her piercing the darkness of your mind. And I suppose that is quite symbolic in the White Spring itself. As I said, it is very dark in there, but then you have this corner of light which sort of, you know, pierces the darkness. So very apt for Brigitte, and I believe she is an Irish goddess. Could be wrong, but I think that's where she comes from. So a few little lists of things I've got here. The symbolism of Yule. Again, rebirth of the sun. Rebirth, change, transformation, all the good stuff. The longest night, as I said, so the solstice, and planning for the future, because of course New Year's coming up. So this is the end of this year and going on and thinking, right, what am I going to do next year? What path am I going to choose? Again, all about rebirth, all the good stuff. Symbols, the Yule log, we talked about Yule log, evergreen boughs, I can never say that word, boughs, I don't know, evergreen branches, or wreaths. People have holly wreaths, you see them on people's doors. Holly, mistletoe, gold pillar candles, and baskets of clove-studded fruit, which reminds me of, I think it's called a Christingle. I could be completely wrong, but I remember making one in primary school, which is an orange, and you put like a piece of red ribbon around the middle and foil on the bottom. You sort of pin it all together, stick cocktail sticks in it so it stands up, and then you stick studded fruit in it, so you could stick like sultanas and currants and just little things like that, or almonds, just stick it in the top, and I think it's called a Christingle. I have that memory of making one in primary school, so that's where that comes from. And that does make sense in that sort of Christmassy feeling. It's all about that, the tiny sort of studded fruit, even though with other food it's all about big abundance, food. When it comes to the fruit, it's like, let's have as little as we can. So currants, almonds, nuts, little tiny studded bits. So now herbs of Yule would be bayberry, blessed thistle, excuse me, my phone is going off, blessed thistle, evergreen, frankincense, holly, laurel, mistletoe, oak, pine, sage, and yellow cedar. So they're the herbs if you wanted to make a smudge out of them, or just have them on your altar for this time of year. Food, everyone loves food this time of year. Biscuits and caraway, cakes soaked in cider, alcohol, fruits, nuts, pork dishes, turkey, of course, eggnog, ginger tea, or spiced cider. I'm saying alcohol, I don't even drink. But for people who do, this seems to be the time of year when it's an excuse to drink as much as you want, and it's an excuse to eat as much as you want. Because we all just tend to stock up at Christmas. Any dieting plans, out the window. And why not? Why not? Treat yourself. Go nuts. Eat as much as you want. I fully intend to. So incense, pine, cedar, bayberry, or cinnamon. Cinnamon, I find that's the smell of this time of year for me. Wherever you go, there seems to be that strong waft of cinnamon, which is really nice. And I'm not overly fussed on the taste. I don't mind like sort of subtle hints of it, but the smell of it, I really like it. It just makes me think of Christmas, and I think it's that kind of spice and that warmth and that sugariness, and yeah, I think it's a very comforting smell. Colours, of course, the obligatory red, green and gold. Where would we be without red, green and gold? Yay! Which I think is very inspired by nature, as is white, silver, yellow and orange, because obviously white and silver you think of snow, and yeah, yellow and orange again, it's all very similar to the red, green and gold, so yeah, makes sense. Stones or crystals, we've got rubies, bloodstones, garnets, emeralds, diamonds. It seems all, really obvious sort of stuff, and you think, well, yeah, rubies, emeralds, red, green, it's all that really warm Christmassy colours. Activities, again, this is really obvious stuff. Caroling, I know a lot of people don't like caroling, but it's an activity. Burning a Yule log, having the tree, decorating the tree, of course, the bit we all love, giving and receiving presents, and we all love that, and not just for the giving, for the receiving part, but for the giving as well, and seeing the look on people's face when they open that gift you got them, especially if it's something that you think, yeah, they are going to love this year, whether it's something spectacular, whether it's something big or small, or just a bit meaningful specifically to that person. It could be one of those presents where you give it to someone, they open it, everyone else in the room goes, what, I don't, and the person that you've given it to just absolutely adores it because it's very personal. It's just a wonderful experience and a wonderful time of year. Again, kissing under the mistletoe, we all like a bit of that. And honouring Kris Kringle, the Germanic pagan god of Yule. That's where that name comes from, Kris Kringle, and we all know who that is, Father Christmas, Santa Claus. So you all know the thing behind him. Spell workings that are good to do this time of year: peace, harmony, love, and increased happiness. That makes sense. That's kind of, you can see from that the saying of peace on earth and goodwill to all men, where that comes from. But you know, it makes sense that time of year. It's all about, it's a very loving, giving, happy time of year, and you know, all year round it should be peaceful and loving. But unfortunately that's not the world we live in. It should be, but it's not. And at this time of year people do tend to remember it a bit, and you can feel the atmosphere. It does become very peaceful, and does, well, you get that sort of crazy last minute shop which goes on between like now and Christmas. As I said, now is actually the 19th, but when you're watching 21st, but you know, you do still get that sense of mad rush, but there is a sort of calming peace at the same time, and a sense of overwhelming happiness, which is exactly as it should be. Even though you do get a weird feeling at this time of year, people do feel a bit down. It's because emotions are so high at Christmas, and it's because of that want and need for peace and happiness and tradition and love and acceptance and receiving and giving, and that's what it's all about really, and that's what we should be feeling. And if you do have a sad moment, hold on to that thought of peacefulness and happiness and rejoicing, and peace on earth and goodwill to all men. That's the end of my list. That's the end of the video. So yeah, I hope you liked my little informative video. I haven't done one since I haven't done one for a holiday or anything, I think, since probably that one I used to film off my phone, because this was much throwing back to when I first started the page, which was a year and a half ago. It's insane. So thank you all for staying with me. Can't believe we're coming to the end of another year. It's gone so fast. 2014 has been a very good year for me. A rebirth card has quite happily presided over this video. I hope that you all feel that sense of rebirth this year, that you get what you want, and I don't just mean that as in presents. I mean that as in, you know, you get what you want spiritually and from any other aspect in your life. I hope that everything has gone well for you this year, and if not, it goes well for you next year. I hope that you all have a wonderful Yule or Christmas, whatever it is you are celebrating. I was going to say something else. That's it. I mentioned in my last video that if there is a particular subject you want me to do a video on, i.e. crystals, a particular god or goddess or whatever, comment below. If you're on Facebook, again, comment below or send me a message, as the wonderful Coral did from Australia, and she would like me to do a video on the Feast of Ceridwen. So when the new year comes around, I'm going to do some research into that, and that'll be one of the videos I'll be doing. I will probably be doing a video on crystals sometime soon. I hope to do a more in-depth video on tarot. Yeah, and if there's anything that you're unsure of or that you want to know about, and you think that it would help to have an informative video on it, let me know. Put it in the comments box. Yeah, that's it, in the comments box below, or message me. Thank you so much for all the love and support this year. This page would be absolutely nothing without you guys. You are the people that I do it for, and I really hope that you have enjoyed it. As I said, I hope that you have a wonderful Yule or Christmas or whatever it is you are celebrating, and I hope that the new year brings all the peace, love and happiness that you deserve and want. Thank you ever so much. It has been a wonderful year. I will see you in the new year with my new video. I don't know what, I'll probably just do a sort of a general video to say Happy New Year and what have you, but until then, thank you so much. As always, I'm astounded at the support I get. As I said, this page is absolutely nothing without you guys. So thank you so much. Makes me feel a lot of love and makes me want to send out love to all of you. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If I could meet all of you, I'd give you all a big cwtch. For those who don't know, that's Welsh for hug. So I would, and big lovely Welsh cwtch from me to you this Christmas and Yule. Merry Christmas, Merry Yule. Hope you all have a wonderful year. I will see you next year. Please like and subscribe, comment and share. Thank you so much to all of you. Positive energy and blessings. Bye.
They've got cars big as bars, they've got rivers of gold, and the wind goes right through you, it's no place for the old. When you first took my hand on a cold Christmas Eve, you promised me Broadway was waiting for me. You were handsome,
you were pretty, queen of New York City. When the band finished playing, they held out for more. Sinatra was swinging, all the drunks they were singing. We kissed on the corner, then danced through the night. The boys of the NYPD choir were singing, "Go baby," and the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day.